Well, my brother's death, I mean, that really affected me. So I'm going to, use that as an inspiration. And, I've said it 1,000 times, I'm going to put it on the album. No one's going to know about it. And it's going to be a little quiet song just between me and him. And then it turned out to be one of the biggest Christmas songs of that year.
That didn't happen, did it? Yeah.
That didn't, whoops.
For the first time ever, I get to say hello to Mr. Tony Mortimer, composer extraordinaire, who's never been on the station, and I've never interviewed him. So, Tony, it's great to meet you. How are you?
It's very well, thank you. What an introduction.
What do you like? Composer, singer-songwriter, pop star? What do you like?
Lucky lad. He's a lucky lad, that one. Yeah, any of those feel really a bit odd.
Do you feel lucky?
Yeah, I do feel terribly lucky. I think luck has a lot to do with it. There's so many more talented people, and they never get found and they never get heard. And there's great songs out there. There's great songs that never got to #1, like Mariah Carey, but I'm not rubbing it in. I wouldn't do that.
You've gone straight there with the Mariah reference.
Early doors.
Straight in.
Wow.
What All I Want for Christmas Is You, which you stopped from getting to #1 back in 94.
Well, the public did. It wasn't us.
True.
The public did. They said, Mariah, no. And then that was the end of it, wasn't it? But there's some great songs that didn't get to #1 and some great songs that we don't know are Christmas songs, like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Did you know that's Christmas #1?
Yes, yeah, of course. Good pop facts, Tony.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And some good E17 songs that didn't get to #1, let's be honest. Yeah, hello. All around the world. All around the world.
Yeah, great song. Yeah.
We'll play that in a matter of minutes, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Brilliant, yeah.
But we are talking about this anniversary. We're talking 30 years since you released Stay Another Day.
Yeah.
Does it feel like 30 years?
Well, it feels like, I would say only yesterday, but my memory's starting to fade, so it's a bit longer than yesterday, but it definitely don't feel like 30 years. I mean, that's just, I remember saying last year, that's it, I'm not going to come out anymore, I'm not going to perform with my white coat, and then everyone's like, but it's the 30th next year. Wow, 30th, that's outrageous. That's older than a lot of people.
As a song, it hasn't aged a day. It still sounds incredible. It still sounds fresh.
I think what's a bit lucky there is it's basically orchestration, isn't it? Now, drums, especially snare drums, do age over time, and you can usually tell the decade by the snare or the drums.
Yeah.
So because there's none on here really, apart there's timpanis, but they'll never really age. So like you've picked up on a point there. It is sort of ageless music. It's an orchestra, and that kind of transcends time with maybe some sleigh bells thrown in at the end for good measure.
We love when the chimes kick in, Tony. That's the moment.
That's it, isn't it? That's the bit. It's like the Glockenspiel's falling down the stairs.
It's a beautiful, talented thing. We'll talk more about that song and what you're doing for the anniversary. You're doing something really lovely and special.
Yeah.
I've got to mention as well, I was watching you on TV only a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
As you appeared on the special documentary series about boy bands.
It was nice as well to look back. When it's like looking back sometimes. I guess like a wedding video, and you see it and you go, oh my God, there's me.
Yeah.
And you look back all those years ago and you go, oh, why did they show that? And oh, not that. And,
there was some amazing archive in there.
There was archive is the word, isn't it? And you look at it and you think, oh my God, that was a long time ago.
But do you like seeing those clips to remind yourself about what you achieved? Yeah, what you did.
About how bad time is and aging and all those things. No, I mean, it's nice. It was all a whirlwind and a bit of a blur. You was up at the crack of dawn and you was on planes here, there and everywhere. So it was all a bit of a blur. But it was a blur because we was successful and we was one of the lucky ones. There's a lot of people that didn't get to experience that and the whirlwind of it. But I do look back and I look now and I think, God, you didn't know what was going on, and there you are pretending you knew. And you're at that age as well in your early 20s where you think you've got it sussed, haven't you? I know what life's about. It's about this, that, and this, and this is what I'm going to do, and then life gets involved and sort of changes it up a bit. But, I mean, it's nice to look back.
Have you ever been offered to have a biopic made of the story of E17?
No, and I don't know. Would they be monkeys? I don't know. What animals?
The dogs.
Oh, the dogs. Do you remember? And that's really what interested Tom into signing a band. He was like, well, what makes your band different than everyone else? He was very much like marketing. And then John said, well, we've got a dog. And I thought, well, that's the end of this, isn't it? That's the end of this career. And then Tom went, I like it. And he did. And off he went. He just went off into dog world then and started making all these dog like, selling it as marketing with the dog, and people really liked the idea of the dog and were like, any chance of liking the music or anything?
Any thoughts here?
Anything? Yeah, we're putting a lot of work in it. No, you've got a dog. That's all we need.
The 30th anniversary of Stay Another Day. Let's get the facts in. So a 5-week UK #1
Yeah.
at the end of 1994.
Yeah.
One of the biggest selling singles of that year.
Yeah.
A song that won you the Ivor Novello Award for Songwriter of the Year.
I know.
And a song that's
mad.
gone on, do millions of streams around the world ever since.
Yeah, it's done a lot of streams. Every year around Christmas, people play it, and I'll walk down the road and I'll hear it, and I'll go to Christmas markets and it'll be on, and it's every year. Thankfully, but I do always say to myself, is this the last year? Because the public can change, and then they don't play it no more, and something else is #1. So it's stayed around for a bit. Oh, stayed. There you go.
See what you did there?
Yeah, you see what I did there?
The weirdest place you've heard it? Because I think you've got a story for me.
The weirdest place was, I've just came out of Tottenham Court Road, and it was playing in the big screens they've got across the road.
Yeah.
I thought, what's that? That sounds familiar. And I've gone over there, and there's loads of people videoing it, and they've got this special video that's up that they've made, and they're playing Stay Another Day, and I wanted to shout out, this is my song, but you can't.
It's me.
It's me.
Oh, with a little...
I think that's Brian.
See.
But it's so surreal, and I just wanted to tell everyone, do you know what you're listening to? I mean, you can't. It's my song.
So awesome. Yeah, we haven't obviously talked about this, but it came from a very sad personal thing that happened to you. And in a way, you shouldn't have had to write this song.
Yeah.
It's a shame that you did.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of pressure to write songs, and I don't know, if I write a song, I might not write one for another 4 or 5 weeks back then or whatever. But then all of a sudden you're told you've got to go in, right, we need 6 songs. We need 10 songs. Well, that's not how it works, but you have to do it. So I was just trying to pull inspiration out of anywhere. And I thought, well, my brother's death, that really affected me. So I'm going to, use that as an inspiration. And, I've said it 1,000 times, I'm going to put it on the album. No one's going to know about it. And it's going to be a little quiet song just between me and him. And then it turned out to be one of the biggest Christmas songs of that year.
That didn't happen, did it? Yeah.
That didn't, whoops, that got out. Because people started hearing it, the management and the record company, and they went, that's Christmas #1. It had nothing to do with Christmas. It was written in August. And they all said it's a Christmas #1, and they saw something I didn't. And I was like, okay, but we're not going to release it, are we? No, Tone, we're not. No one will ever hear that.
I look back at the chart, Christmas chart of 94. So I want to just give you the kudos. You in that year, of course, famously beat Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Have you ever had a conversation with her about that?
Well, I did, yeah. We was at McDonald's the other day, and I said, Madge, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to get the bill. No, of course not. But I think she probably knows who we are.
Surely.
Because that wouldn't have went down well, would it? It would.
She's also celebrating the 30th, of course, with the reissue of that single as well.
Yeah.
So the
Is she doing it for charity,
No,
though?
Tony,
No.
but you are.
So what's her is it the 30th anniversary of a #2? Because I've not had one of them. I don't know. Is that what you
right,
do?
It is. Although they technically went to #1 in 2021, but yeah.
Oh, it did,
but,
yeah.
But
it
you
did.
at the original time, it was all
but
about
when
you.
it was meant to go.
That's right.
You can't beat those boys from the hood.
You also beat Boyzone, the Power Rangers, Celine Dion, PJ and Duncan,
The Power
Rednecks,
Rangers.
and Zig and Zag.
The Power Rangers, Zig and Zag, and Rednecks, and that's it. My life is complete.
Look at that.
That is fantastic. What were the Power Rangers doing?
Some crazy song about morphing and stuff. I have to ask the obvious question that everyone will want to ask you.
What's that?
What could happen? Will there ever be a moment where you boys come back together?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. We're a bit old now. Do you really want to see me on stage rapping? Really? I don't know. Well, see, it's stuck.
I would actually, Tony. Yeah, can we book that in? Book that in. I would.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't think so. I think that time's passed now.
Okay.
I'm not sure. We're not very boy bandy anymore, are we? Gastric band.
Tony, so good to meet you. So good to see you. And thanks for being on the show.
You.
And Stay Another Day is back out for the 30th anniversary. This is the big single with Gabrielle. Tony, have a great Christmas, sir.
And you.